Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel In Revision Fitness with Harvey. If you are new to the channel, then welcome along, and if you haven't already, please watch my full disclaimer, and the link for this can be found in the description below. As very briefly, this is purely an inspirational channel to motivate others the importance of fitness for both our physical and mental well-being, and this is done through my vision loss journey. So, in this video, this is my first audio exercise video, and I have started with something very beginner friendly, and it is wall push-ups. So a nice, simple, basic upper body exercise. So as ever, my videos are always welcome and inclusive to anyone that is interested, but I always have the visually impaired community in mind, so hopefully a lot of helpful and useful audio. So wall push-ups, hopefully you'll learn what they are, what muscle groups they target, a couple of variations, and I'll throw in a couple of little challenges at the end as well. So hope you enjoy. So I'll get started. So wall push-ups are a standing variation of the push-up. So it's just good for building a little bit of upper body strength initially, and as it is a standing variation, it puts less stress on our joints, such as the wrists. And it can be done very easily in the home, as all that is needed is a safe, sturdy wall. And I'll begin with my demonstration. So I've located my wall, safe, sturdy wall, no objects around. And I'm just going to feel for the wall, and firstly position my hands on the wall, palms flat on the wall, firstly shoulder height, shoulder width apart. So hands flat on the wall, shoulder height, shoulder width. And maybe a little useful top tip, I have a marker on my wall, and that just helps me as a guide to position my hands. So could be a useful tip that could be used. So once my hands are in that position, I'm then going to position my fingers, so fingers pointing straight up towards the ceiling, arms straight, so I'm stood around arm's length away from the wall. Now in the exercise, the closer I stand to the wall, the easier it is. The further away I stand from the wall, the harder it is. So I'm in that position. So arms nice and straight. As I say, arms length away from the wall, and then I'm going to position my feet around hip width apart, which suits me, but I could also do shoulder width as well for more stability, but personally for me, I do hip width, and a lot of time in exercises it's about maybe comfort and what feels good for us. So once I'm in that position, feet just pointing straight towards the wall, I'm then going to bend my elbows downwards, and that is then going to bring my nose and chest towards the wall. So I'll show a demonstration of that. So bringing my elbows down, not flaring out the elbows, just bring them down naturally at about a 45-degree angle. Then I'll push through the palms of my hands into the wall, back to the starting position. So I'll do a few demonstrations of the wall push-ups, and just wanted to add, I'm keeping the body straight as I can from head to heel, just like a plank or a board resting against the wall. So body nice and straight, nice and relaxed, elbows not locked, knees not locked, nice and relaxed, and a good, simple, basic, beginner friendly upper body exercise to begin with. And feet flat on the ground. So Just demonstrating the wall push-ups and also engaging the core, so I mean the stomach, so I'm tightening the stomach muscles, the core. I'm also squeezing the glutes, so I mean the bottom, squeezing the glutes gently in the exercise, keeping the body nice and straight, head to heel. And this exercise, as I say, is upper body, and it mainly works the chest, shoulders and tricep muscles, but it can also engage the upper back for stability, and as I say, also engages the core and the glutes. So a nice beginner friendly exercise. So I think now I'll move on to a couple of variations. So if I move my hands now slightly wider, so maybe the width of my hand further apart, as maybe as a guide. I'm just trying to include as much information as I can to try and make it as helpful as possible. So slightly wider now, my palms, then I'll do the same movement again, bringing the elbows down, nose and chest towards the wall, a couple of inches away, so my nose doesn't touch the wall, just a couple of inches away, then I push through the palms of my hands back to the starting position. Now, by moving the hands slightly wider, this puts more focus on the chest and less on the triceps. So more focus on the chest in the wider variation. There we go, just doing a few demonstrations of that one. And another variation, bringing the hands closer together this time. So, for instance, if we're familiar with the diamond push-up, now the hands don't have to be as close as that, so if I touch my hands together right in front of me, then bring them apart, slightly, small gap, then bring my elbows down again, and nose and chest to the wall, and this time my nose is sort of going to land sort of where my hands are. So that's the narrow one, and again bring the elbows down, not flaring out. Again, body nice and straight, head to heel, no bending in the hips, and by bringing the hands closer together, this puts more focus on the tricep muscles and inner chest. So just feeling that now in my tricep muscles more, at the back of the arm. Good exercise, and it's very good that just by simply moving the hands around, I can target the muscle groups more depending on what I am focusing on. And just wanted to add as well, because a lot of information comes into my mind when I'm doing it, a good rep count. So a rep count can be on all the variations. Maybe I'll go down for 2 seconds, so I'll go down, 1, 2, pause at the bottom, back to the starting position as a 1, 2 as well. So I'll do a couple of demonstrations of them. 1, 2, pause, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, the reason why I do a rep count, or I can even do it for longer, maybe even 4 or 5 seconds, as the longer I spend under tension in those phases, the harder the exercise is, because I'm putting the muscles under tension for longer. So just wanted to add that in. So just trying to include as much information as I can. So I think that's everything in the technique. So to finish off, I'll finish with a couple of little challenges. So I'll start off with the one-handed wall push-up. So I'm going to do the same again as the first variation, shoulder height, shoulder width. So I'll do my right side, so right hand on the wall, shoulder height, shoulder width. Then my left hand is going to be behind my back, legs in the same position, hip width apart for me, bringing the elbow down, not flaring out, body straight, head to heel, then push through the wall, palm of my hand, back to the starting position. And I can do the same on the other side, just making it that little bit more challenging in the one-handed wall push-up. So, final challenge to finish off, I'll do the clapping variation wall push-up. So, hands back on the wall again, shoulder height, shoulder width, and do the same again, same movement as the first variation I demonstrated. So this time, bringing the elbows down, that's going to bring my nose, chest to the wall, a couple of inches away, not touching. Then as I push through the palms of my hands, I'm going to come off the wall for a small couple of seconds, and then hands back out, back on the wall. So come on off the wall briefly. So hands back on the wall, then like so. So just demonstrating the wall push-ups. So just do a bit of a count for that one. So just to try and get an idea of how long I'm off the wall for. So I'll do that. So elbows down, now I'm to the wall now. So I'm going to push back off the wall. So I'm off the wall now I'm back on. So push back, clap, back on. And this is like an explosive movement. Final challenge of the video. So hope you've enjoyed watching my first audio exercise video. Get a bit carried away there in the last one. Thank you for watching, hope you've enjoyed. Please feel free to add any suggestions of maybe what you'd like to see from me in the future, maybe in exercises. My next video I have planned is to do push-ups on the floor. So if you're interested, please feel free to give that a watch when it comes out. Please, if you've enjoyed, like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.